Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing today? This is your coach Ren. Today I want to talk to you about the vision that I had in my meditation this morning. You see, every morning I go through the techniques that I told you about, dying to yourself and then finding gratitude within yourself and then going through your I ams. And after that, I go into my meditative state, right? Because I've opened up all my chakras, so it's time to go into my meditative state. Now, here's the thing about it. In that meditative state today, I study many ancient writings and wisdom. And in that meditative state today, what I saw first was the statue of Nebuchadnezzar that Daniel gave the interpretation of. Now, this is not about whether or not it represented the different kingdoms and the ones people agree on, and then the last one that people have difficulties finding agreement on, because I'm not trying to find agreement on this anyhow. It is not about the kingdoms, but it is about the fact that the statue was of a body and you are of a body. Now, the beauty of it is that when you look at the statue from a state of alchemy, when you look at it from the esoteric point of view, because no matter what you look at, no matter what symbol you're looking at, every symbol in this world has multiple understandings depending upon your degree of scholarly and esoteric and spiritual understanding of them. There's more to it. The cross is not just the cross. The Ankh is that's not the Ankh. The swastika is not just the swastika. You have to dig deeper to find the secondary, third, fourth, fifth understandings of it. It's like building a building. There is multiple floors, and the higher you go up, the more you understand, because you've learned and stacked everything upon itself. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is that in my vision, in my meditation, alchemically, what I understood was a state of being, a state of movement throughout the body, starting from the feet, where you have a mixture of iron and clay. And the beauty of iron is that when you mix iron with impurities, iron stiffens. But what Lao Tzu says in the Tao is that that death is associated with stiffness, whereas life is associated with flexibility. I got a little example. See, right here, you see this plant? It's not fully, this leaf has to be taken care of, but the leaf, where it is dead, it is stiff. Where it is alive, it has flexibility. When someone's in a casket, they become stiff. When someone is born, they have flexibility. So when you're dealing with the feet, and see that flexibility, that depth, that stiffness, it deals with knowledge and consciousness. The more stiff you are in your knowledge, the more stiff you are in your consciousness, the more stiff you are in your understanding, then the more dead you are. You're just dead. The more certain leaders try to hold back information, you see, as you move up this body of consciousness, information becomes free for everyone. It becomes not, as some would say, the cosmic energy just flows. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about as you move up the body and understanding each metal and how it works. You'll understand your consciousness better. You see, if you're still at a feet level, if you're still at the bottom, and in some cultures, if you show the bottom of your feet to someone, then you're insulting them. If you're at the bottom, then you're stiff and you're headed towards death. So you have to move up the body, because as you deal with something like chakras and energy, you know that the lower chakras are your base chakras, your physical chakras, and like the things that block those are things like fear, guilt, and shame. They're more like your 7 deadly sins, in a sense, instead of the things that enlighten you and raise you up into the spirit, right? That gives you that consciousness, that connection with source energy. You see, so as you move up the body, and you got the legs, and the legs are more just iron. You see, the less impurities that you have of iron, then the softer the material is, but the material is plentiful. Iron is one of the most plentiful elements out there. And the thing about it is that as we moved into the ages of consciousness, iron things were more dull, and it's more of a dull looking element, metal. And then the brass is so interesting about the brass, and I'm going fast because I don't have much time on this video. But the brass, the beauty of the brass, the most important thing I want you to understand about the brass or the bronze is that the brass is made up of 2 elements. There's always 2 elements. Most of the time, it's copper and tin, representing the male and the female. The scripture would tell you, the Christian scripture would tell you that that every man must be born again of fire and water, male and female. The yin-yang symbol is the male and female. The law of gender, universal law of gender, says that all creation comes from the joining of the male and the female. But it's the proper mix of the male and female. You see, too often we're too much male or we're too much female, and everybody has that. And it's not, and I'm not just talking about sex of gender, but this is consciousness of being, right? That you have to go through trials by fire. As you go into silver and gold, trials by fire eliminates the impurities, which gives you more of a pure thought. So think about silver representing a more pure thought, gold representing the purest thought. But in order to get there, you have to purify it through fire and then cool it with water. So it is esoterically, symbolically, allegorically born again through the water. It goes through the purification of fire and born again through the water. So as you rise in your consciousness, as you rise in your thoughts, then you have to go through each stage. And as you go through each stage, you also have to be able to use each stage for what it is worth. Use each stage for what it is worth. Use the iron for the iron. Use your copper for bronze for the bronze. Use the silver for the silver. And your goal is to reach that full consciousness level of enlightenment where you are connected to God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. When you are there, and then you are in your most pure state. But in order to get to that state of purity, you first have to master the other states below it. So just like you have to master the chakras, the lower chakras, in order to get to the upper chakras, you have to master your energies. You have to master, in order for you to truly receive the law of attraction. See, many people look at the law of attraction, they just think, oh, law of attraction, think about it and it'll come. But if you don't understand the law of vibration, the law of rhythm, the law of polarity, how all these things start working together so that you can understand the law of cause and effect, and then once you get those in the right format, then the law of attraction works for you. See? So even in your conscious thought, so when I saw that statue, and then I saw the energy moving up the statue. And as it moved up the statue, I saw the energy change. And the more it changed, the brighter it grew, and the more life came from it. The higher the vibration. And then I saw the pendulum swing so that you moved up the polarity scale. And when you get to that state of gold, that's where you want to stay. You want to get there and you want to stay. So that was part of my meditation. I don't usually share those on videos, but I wanted to share that piece of it with you guys today because, my greatness is non-negotiable and so is yours. And it is my desire for each of us to attain in our own way that level of purity of thought so that we are all gold in spirit. Y'all have a good day.